Hi guys, I'm back. I'm here to do book 17 of 365. Book 17 is going to be the third book. It's going to be the third book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It's called Lover Awakened, and it's Sadis and Bella's story. And this is my favorite one. I know a lot of people don't like this one, or not don't like it, but don't like Sadis as a character, but he's one of my favorite ones. I think he's the hardcore, damaged on the inside, soft and cuddly, not soft and cuddly, but as soft and cuddly as he can be, and hardcore badass on the outside. Plus, I think Bella is one of the best female characters that she introduced. She's very fend for herself. I can take care of myself. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you can either help me along or move out of my way, and I love that. As I said, this one's called Lover Awakened, and let's see that nifty little title there. It's gray. There we go. Okay, so I don't really have any extras for the beginning of this one. I guess I can talk a little bit about blood slaves. According to, and I can actually tell you what she says. According to this story, Sadis was born a twin. His twin's name is Fury, and his story will come a little later. And when he was just born, just a couple months old, I want to say 3 or 4 months, he was stolen from a nanny, and then that nanny died and he was sold into slavery. Now, and I don't know if it comes out in this story a little later, that it's kind of like a belief that a lot of vampire society has, that too much good fortune is what causes bad things to happen. So having two healthy males born in one family at the same time was too much good fortune, so something had to happen. And so Sadis was stolen, and that's the end of that. Okay, here we go. And a blood slave is male or female vampire who has been subjugated to serve the blood needs of another. The practice of keeping blood slaves has been largely discontinued, although it has not been outlawed. So, he was sold into slavery, and through a series of flashbacks through the whole book, you kind of find out about his history and why he does the things he does and why he acts the way he does. So his story is very interesting, and I think it's the most intricate of anybody's in the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and that's kind of why I like this. It goes back centuries. You know, he's been alive I don't know how long, maybe 300 years or something, and he was like a servant, a blood servant, and technically a sex servant for this whole, like, majority of that time until his brother Fury came and found him. So, I don't think it gives too much of a story away because they do talk about it a little bit in the first couple of books. He has tattoos on his arms and I think on his neck to show that they're kind of like, to show other people that he is a blood slave. And normally things like scars, because he has a scar on his face and he shaves his head, and it kind of and he's really thin for a brother. He doesn't eat right, it mentions, and you know, he doesn't eat a lot, and he doesn't like to feed from females. Like, he's very, because a female is the one that kept him, he doesn't like to be touched by other people. He doesn't like to feed unless he has to. He feeds from humans a lot, so he's not very doesn't have a lot of nutrition in his system, you know. He's not as he should be, but he's still the most vicious, I think, although a lot of people say rages. I think he's the most vicious because he kills without remorse. You know, he has this, like, anger inside of him that's so deep he can't get rid of it, and he just has to take it out on something. So, and he, the scars he has were from when his brother Fury saved him. To save them, they both had to jump off of this cliff into an ocean, and salt in a wound seals it in a vampire. If not, it would heal. So he has all these for life, you know. And it's kind of not embarrassing for him, but he's like, what of it? What are you gonna do? And I like that. His female, Bella, we meet because she's a friend of Mary's, and she gets invited to parties, and she gets taken by a lesser, and that happens really quickly, and it happens at the end of love her eternal. So coming into this book, you already know she's been taken. But what the Brotherhood doesn't know is that Sadist is kind of almost had like an instant bond with her, and he doesn't understand it and he doesn't really like it right now, but he thinks that he needs to find her and he needs to find her now. And he does find her. Obviously it's happily ever after, sort of, you know, as far as these guys can get. He does find her, but then that's not even the hardest part of this, you know, adventure, this story. He has to realize that he's not bad, you know, and love is okay, and that touching is okay, and all that. And I just love in sex. He's only had sex one way because he used to be forced into it, and now he has to learn to love, you know, and it's kind of sink or swim for him with him and Bella. And like I said, Bella's hardcore, get on the train or I'm leaving you behind. And I really love that. So, I'm not going to tell you how it ends. I don't want to spoil it for you. I hope you read it so you know how it ends. But in this story, you get a lot of Fury's, his twin story too. And this makes me kind of not like Fury, and I don't want to turn your attitude, I guess is how I want to think about it. I don't want to make you hate him. I didn't like him at all. I found him really whiny. Like, I'm sure he goes through a lot for his twin, but his twin went through so much more. And we get to his story and he's still whiny. That's my least favorite book, but we'll get there. Also in this story, John Matthew is taken in by Torment and Wellesley so that he's with the Brotherhood. Torment is a member of the Brotherhood. So him and his wife, his Shalon, and she's pregnant with the baby, but vampires are pregnant for like 18 months. It kind of is like vague about that. I think sometimes it says 18 months, but then when other people are pregnant, it doesn't seem like that long. So, and at the end of the story, John Matthew and Torment and their family have an extreme, they go through something really extreme, and I think that sets up a lot for John Matthew's story, which isn't next. It doesn't come for quite a while, but I feel like she puts a lot of his story in each of these books. He's an integral character, and he lives with Torment, but they don't live on the Brotherhood mansion. So, like I said, this was my favorite story, and so far, there's still more to come. This is my favorite one, and I love the bits about John Matthew, I love Bella, and I hope you read this one. I will put links in the doo-wop thing for, I can never remember what it's called, down bar, for my other reviews, because if you're reading this one and if you're watching this and you haven't read the first two, don't skip to the middle. It's so worth it to start at the beginning. This is a great series, and this is book 3 of like 10 or 11, so you don't want to miss out now. Start at the beginning. You don't want to jump into the middle of a story, especially not this one. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon with the next review, and until then, see you guys later. Oh, you know what? If you like this one, if this is your favorite, put it in the comments below, and if it's not, let me know why you didn't like this one, because I'm always interested in what other people have to say about these stories. So, and no one I know has read them. No one I know in person has read them, so hopefully I'll see you guys real soon, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys!